Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. Today, in celebration of Independence Day here in the United States, I'm going to review Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters #1. This comic is from the year 2006 and was an 8-shot miniseries, which has also been collected into a tradeback. This team consists of new incarnations of Phantom Lady, the Ray, the Human Bomb, Dollman, Bigfoot, Destroyer, the Face, Firebrand, and others. It was written by Jimmy Palamati, Justin Gray, and the penciler is Daniel Acuna. He also did the colors along with Javier Montes Papian, and Daniel Acuna also did the cover. This version of the team is loosely based on notes by Grant Morrison. So starting off, this comic does contain some sexual scenes and also has quite a bit of violence, so viewer discretion is advised. Alright, starting off, we have the cover. It's pretty cool. It's a little dark, but it's a good cover. The ray in the middle there really brightens it up. It's a little wordy. I mean, they've got the title up there, issue #1, Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters, and then it says, from the pages of Brave New World, and has the Jimmy Palmati, Justin Gray, and Daniel Acuna's names are credited, and then on the bottom it says, they fight for you. So it's pretty good, but the Human Bomb is solid black, so the whole bottom right corner is dark, and then the villain in the background there, Father Time, and his troops are really dark. So kind of a dark cover, I think. Since so many of the characters are really dark color, I would have made the background a little brighter instead of dark red, but that's just a personal preference. It's a good cover. It's certainly well drawn. I would love to see the penciling of it, just the black and white pencils without the colors, and see how it looks. So on the first page, we see Senator Knight, and he's given a campaign rally. He's running for president against the incumbent, and he's talking about his daughter Stormy, who is also the Phantom Lady, and most people are aware of that. So she doesn't have a secret identity or anything. Then he's given a speech, and he's talking about how they need to make the world safer and how they need to fight terrorism and everything. This book is written in 2006, but it's very much set in the post 9/11 Patriot Act. We have to fight terrorism and the debate between giving up freedom for security, basically. So he's given a speech about that, and it's pretty interesting. And we see on the next page, it's a birthday party, and there's an old man kneeling there by a boy. I assume is his grandson in this. It's this grandson's birthday party, and grandson says, "Cool, new G.I. Lester Battle Assassin action figure." And the speech bubbles are the speech Senator Knight is giving. He's on the TV in the background, and he's continuing to talk, and he says, "My opponent's policies are different from mine. However, the president and I do agree on the need to include metahumans in our ever-expanding war on terror and the need for increased homeland security." So doing the thing where the guy is talking, and the scene that you're seeing is ironically showing, the reality of it. It isn't as nice as he says. So anyway, G.I. Lester battle action figure here is actually Dollman, and the kid sees him open his eyes, and the Dollman tears through the packaging and jumps out, and he says, he says, "Kid, I suggest you close your eyes. Ray, it's on." And the next page, Ray blasts through the window, and he blinds pretty much all of the bad guys. And Phantom Lady shows up, and she takes out the bad guys' guns using her powers, and Dollman jumps up on the old man's shoulder, and he works for Intergang. He's one of the bad guys working for Intergang, and Dollman jumps up and stabs him in the neck with something, and it causes his head to catch on fire and blow up, essentially. And the little boy, it's kind of sad, you see him there, he's screaming and crying, and then all of the S.H.A.D.E agents bust in through the windows, and they're there now too, arresting people. So they have the scene under control, and the Senator Knight is still talking, and he says, "This century will be freedom's century." So it's pretty ironic. And it jumps back to Senator Knight still talking, and Firebrand. This is the new Firebrand. There have been 4 versions of Firebrand, going all the way back to 1941, but this version is the 4th version, and he was made specifically for this series. So Firebrand jumps out of the crowd, and he says, "Both candidates are fundamentalists and ideologues masquerading as patriots. Uncle Sam is coming, Senator. He wants you to quit misleading the people." And the senator says, "Who the hell are you?" And he says, "I'm Firebrand, burning the path for his return. Uncle Sam says it's time to stand by the principles established in the Constitution and not to encourage encourage a meta-human Gestapo under the guise of national safety. But on the next page, you see Firebrand is shot down by the senator's security, and security moves in. He isn't killed, but they shot him down, and the senator moves on and continues with his speech. And we see the Ray. We get a page basically talking about the backstory of the new Ray and how he's really awesome. It says, "My name is Stan Silver. I'm a 26-year-old foreign correspondent for the Washington Sun. I'm also an agent of S.H.A.D E, the superhuman advanced defense executive, the final solution to unsolvable problems. My code name is Ray." So you notice the ironic terminology they use too, like the final solution and stuff like that. It's a little heavy-handed with politics, but I actually like it. It's subtle compared to how they do it today, where they beat you over the head with it. So this page is cool. It shows Ray flying around. You know, he can move as fast as the sun, and he goes down to one of his places he visits, and they have this page. I follow another guy on YouTube. His channel's really good. It's called Diversity and Comics. And one thing a page like this is something he would call sexy sex, where it's basically just a little partial nudity to kind of titilize the reader, and they know when people are flipping through stuff on the newsstand, they're not going to read everything, they're not going to see every page, but they'll flip through and they'll be like, oh wow, they like that kind of thing. Oh, there's a buff naked guy, and then, or they'll see the lady on the bottom panel and be like, oh wow, that naked chick's hot, and probably buy it. So in any case, it's not too gratuitous. It's just a little thing they put in there basically to show the Ray is a real womanizer kind of cool guy. And then it goes to the next page. It shows Dollman. He's training on his miniature, he's got all this tiny equipment that's down to his size for him to train, and he's thinking about the mission and how messed up it was that they killed that man in front of his grandson, but that he can't do or say anything about it. And on the next page, this woman shows up who he is actually in love with, but he can't tell her because his backstory is he's a scientist who had an experiment go wrong, so he's permanently stuck being 6 inches tall. So he really can't, pursue a romantic relationship with a normal sized woman, but he also can't help having feelings for her. So that's kind of interesting. And in this issue, Dollman's probably the one with the most depth, and I found to be the most interesting. I'd really like to see where they go with this relationship in the next 7 issues. So he's talking to her, and he says, "Emma, sorry, you caught me during a workout." And she says, "Lester, how was the intergang operations?" And he's like, "Smooth as silk," and whatnot, and doesn't tell her anything, but she kind of knows because she knows him well. But anyways, she's an inventor who works for S.H.A.D E and gives him a new weapon. She says, "It is a sonic dispersal heat-seeking grenade launcher with remote control rockets that can be simultaneously operated for dual strike capability." And he's like, "Oh, cool, awesome." And so that's fun. And then it goes to the next page, and this is the Phantom Lady, but she isn't in her Phantom Lady clothes, and she's being interviewed by a reporter, and basically they're like talking about how the Phantom Lady is a party animal and stuff, lives a real crazy life. And on the next page, at the bottom, it says, the Phantom Lady says, "Believe me, if you knew half of the crap I know, you'd understand why I party every night like it's the end of the world." So that's some pretty good foreshadowing. And the next page, we see Senator Knight, and he is now talking to this villain named Father Time. A little bit on Father Time. He's a supervillain with enhanced strength. He first appeared in 7 Soldiers Frankenstein #3. And that's also from 2006. He was created by Grant Morrison, and he is the commander of the Superhuman Advanced Defense Executive, also known as S.H.A.D E. And it's a Patriot Act-funded covert operations group employing metahumans to fight terrorism. But his own concerns seem to appear around consolidating power as much as they do around national security. So the senator's talking to Father Time, and this is really stupid on the senator's part, but he's telling Father Time that if he becomes elected, he's going to defund S.H.A.D E and stop all these illegal operations and stuff that they've been doing. And Father Time's like, "Well, that's not what you said in your speech." And the senator's saying, "Well, I'd say anything to get elected, and that's what's popular right now," and all that. So Father Time says, "I thank you for delivering your message in person. It saves me the trouble of sending Dollman to kill you in your sleep." And he hits a button. And then on the next page, we see this guy who's really really sinister villain, and he is named Gonzo the Mechanical Bastard, and he is a robotic supervillain. He first appeared in Battle for Bloodhaven #1, and that's also from May 2006, and he becomes the main villain of Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters. He was created by the mathematicians of the anti-life equation and was made to spread chaos throughout Earth. In the aftermath of the chaos of Battle of Bloodhaven, Gonzo managed to slip through a dimensional crack in the universe and the antimatter universe, but Father Time discovered him and started educating him, exposing him to every piece of information known to man. So Gonzo the Mechanical Bastard walks up and he says, you've put together an impressive campaign, buddy boy. The people adore you. After a few tugs on some well-positioned strings, I'll be nestled in the White House, making all the big decisions. And the senator is like, is this a joke? And Gonzo says, yes, it is, but a joke that has a decidedly painful punchline. And he straight up punches through the senator and just kills him, like pushes his hand through him and kills him. And the really disturbing thing is he starts dancing with the corpse, and Father Time says, stop dancing with the corpse, Gonzo. And Gonzo says, this flesh puppet amuses me. Watch us tango. And Father Time says, get cleaned up. I have an interrogation to attend. So then we get kind of mature content, and now they have Firebrand. He's all tied up, and they're going to torture him. And he's being a badass, though. He's basically saying he won't give up the location of Uncle Sam. So then Father Time says, we'll see after I kill Uncle Sam and the dream he represents. Tell us where he is, but realize that the face is going to torture you anyway. And then it goes to the next page. It says, S.H.A.D.E Command Central 2 hours later. And they're doing a recap of the Intergang mission, and then they're going to send the team on a new mission. And Father Time introduces the human bomb here, who's in all black, and he says, sorry I'm late. And the members like Ray and Phantom Lady say they don't want to work with him because he blows up and could kill them accidentally. But Dollman sticks up for him. He jumps up and says, human bomb is an active and important member of this unit and will be treated as such, and you will answer to me personally. And so then they move on, and Father Time's telling them about a new mission, and he's saying it's a domestic terrorist, it's the #1 threat to America, and they have to stop him. And they're like, you called us in for just one man? And he says, 3 hours ago we mobilized 24 well-trained, heavily armed S.H.A.D E agents to apprehend the suspected terrorist. They made contact with the objective, and we haven't heard from them since. And then it jumps to the next page. We have this full page splash page, and it's Father Time, and he says, bring me Uncle Sam. So the terrorist he wants him to get is Uncle Sam. And that's the last page of this issue. Pretty cool. I thought it was really good. It certainly got me intrigued about the storyline, and I'll definitely review issue 2. It's an 8-shot miniseries, so that's not too bad. I'll probably review the whole thing over time. I'm definitely going to read it. I thought it was quite good. It's certainly well drawn. The writing's good. You know, I'd highly recommend reading it if you're into that kind of thing. If you like Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters, or just political commentary that isn't too blatant. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you.
End of line.